But normally you are going to have a custom report, because any of these predefined reports are going to miss some KPI that you want to check, okay, on a daily basis. You use this report to download your overall result, but also to do your daily optimization of your campaigns, okay? So to create your own report, you need to go here and then go to customize columns. Here you have all the KPIs that Facebook can offer you. So you have to select the ones that are more appealing to you for whatever reason, okay? So first you have to clear all the data, and you have two options, okay? If you are 100% sure that you know how Facebook has named one KPI, you can just type here, like sample amount spent, okay? But be careful, because there are some KPIs that are not going to have the name that you are thinking about, okay? For example, imagine that you want to see the interactions, okay? So you are going to tap interaction. That KPI doesn't exist, okay? Because Facebook named interaction as post page, okay? Post engagement, okay? So if you are not 100% sure about the name of your KPI, my recommendation is that you just scroll down and try to find it, because you can miss a lot of things, okay? Also, as long as this is your first interaction with the ads manager, there's a lot of options that you don't know right now that are available. So my personal recommendation is that for your paid media campaign, you will a customized report, okay? Because it's going to be really helpful for you to check on a daily basis the results, okay? But also that when you are building this customized report, that you scroll down and see all the options that you have available, okay? So let's say that you are pretty sure that you want this one, okay? You can also order all the KPIs the way that it's better or more comfortable for you, okay? So for example, you can click and move and then drop, and you can put the order that it works better for you. Once you have your report, your options configured, okay, setting up, you go here, save as a present, put a name, test B, and go to apply, okay? So it's going to be applied at that time. Imagine that you need to check all the thing, okay? So you go here. As long as you save your customized report, you can always go back because it's going to be here, okay? So you just click and you are going to have it here once again, okay? Also, you have the filter thing, okay? Normally, when you are working with campaigns, you are going to have a lot of campaigns, okay? So if you want to make some forecasts, or if you want to check only some specific campaigns, you can use filters, okay? If you type here whatever, like let's, for example, the pre-default filter is campaign name, okay? So if you type here whatever and click enter, it's going to use campaign name, okay? But you have a lot of different options to filter your campaigns. One that is really helpful also is objective, okay? So you have all the objectives that are available for Facebook campaigns, and you can select wherever works better for you. Like for example, lead generation, okay? You go to apply, and then only campaigns that have this objective, it's going to show up here, okay?
Question.
Yeah.
Because can we, like, are we gonna do the campaigns from our own accounts or from your account?
Right now, you should have access to this account. That is, sorry, it's in another business. It's
Yes, and from
This
this
one.
account, we're gonna do it.
yeah. Everyone
Okay,
is going
and
to
we
do
can
it.
see all of the other campaigns.
Yeah. And the reason behind this is when you create a business manager, you have some limitation. Okay, you cannot create as much account as you want. Okay, this limitation it's linked to the amount spent that you have in this business manager. So right now, our amount spent is 0. Okay, because we create this for you. So right now we cannot create more than one ad account. Okay, that's why you have to use the same ad account for everyone. But as long as you only have access to one Facebook page, we are going to see it in a minute. when you are creating your campaign, you only can use the Facebook page that you have access. Okay, so you cannot use other teams' Facebook pages. Okay, so there shouldn't be any kind of problem with that. Okay, so okay, so this is like the main part. So the ads manager. Also, I will explain just in a minute. You have the different parts of the different section that a campaign has in Facebook. That is campaign, ad sets, and ads. Okay, don't worry because I'm going to explain you this just in a minute. Okay. Also, I have access to the research center. Okay, some of you are going to have this tab and others not. Okay, this is because the access level again. Okay, and here you have some advanced app options. Okay, this is because of the iOS 14 actualization. Okay. And here you can see if you have, for example, an unlimited spend of your ad account and all this kind of stuff. Okay. So there's more options, but I don't want to put a lot of information on your mind right now. So I'm going to keep it simple. So these are the main parts. Okay, sorry, I was forgetting about two parts that are pretty important. Sorry. Breakdowns, okay? If you remember, in our case studies, I told you several times that in Facebook, you have a lot of options in terms of breakdowns, okay? So breakdowns are here. You have different sections. Like, for example, you have by time. For your peak media assignment, you are going to have 4 days, okay? So if you want to see if your performance is stable or it's going up or it's going down, you can use, for example, the breakdown by day, okay? So you are going to keep having these overall results, but then you are going to have the result for each day. So you have this kind of visibility, okay? So you can know if, for example, your cost is going up or it's going down, okay? Then you have by delivery, okay? Here you have a lot of options, okay? By gender, by age, by business location, platform, divide, etc. Okay? If you click, you are going to see the breakdown here, okay? So one pretty common, a common question here is, can I use age, for example, and platform at the same time? No, it's not possible, okay? You can only use the breakdowns that are here predefined, okay? So if you want to see gender and if you want to see devices, for example, you need to do it separately, okay? You are never going to have these two breakdown mixed up, okay? It's not possible, at least right now, okay? And then you have, sorry, by action, okay? By conversion device, by video view type, and all this kind of stuff, okay? And finally, you have report, okay? This option is to export the data and make your reports, okay? So there's just two things you have to keep in mind when you export your data, okay? The first one is this one, okay? Include summary row, okay? If you select this one, in your Excel, it's going to include the row that have all the data summarized, okay? So I know it sounds kind of silly, okay? But it's pretty common that you don't see that that row is the one that is summary all the data, and then you work with data that it's not real, okay? So my personal advice is to unclick this option, okay? If you want to summarize the results, it's better if you just put an arrow in Excel and show the results, okay? And then you have deleted item with delivery, okay? This is really, really important, okay? Imagine that someone make a mistake and delete a campaign. That data is not going to show up in the dashboard, okay? It's like it doesn't exist, but it exists, okay? You are only going to be able to see it if you have this one click, okay? So that's why really important that you always have this one click, okay? Because if not, maybe you are not summarizing some result and some spend, okay? So be careful with that. Then you have the option to export as Excel or as CSV, okay? Whatever works better for you. Okay, so this is mainly all the options here. And now we are going to create a campaign step by step, okay? So to create a campaign, you have two options. You can create it from scratch, but you can duplicate one existing campaign, okay? We are going to create one from scratch because this is the way that you are going to use for your big media assignment, okay? So you go here, you click create, and the first thing that you have is to choose your campaign objective, okay?
Are we actually creating it right now or?
No. Okay, I mean, you can go and do all the options that I'm going to show you, but this is not like the campaign that you are going to do for your assignment, okay? It's just that you can right now see it on real time, okay? Some options in the campaign are going to be at the campaign level, others at the ad set level, and other at the ads level, okay? So, as I told you, the campaign structure is the following, okay? You have an ad account, okay? Inside an ad account, you can have different campaigns. In one campaign, you can have one ad set or more than one ad set. And per ad set, okay? Inside one ad set, you can have one or more ads, okay? Each ads can have different formats, okay? One can be a single image, another can be a carousel, and another can be an instant experience, for example, okay? So think about this as this Russian dolls where you have things that are inside other things, okay? Campaign, inside campaign you have ad sets, and inside ad set you have ads, okay? So what is the criteria to use one campaign with one ad set or more than one ad set, okay? Imagine that you are running campaign for an educational institution, for example, okay? And you have a bachelor degree, okay? A program for bachelor degree. You know that for bachelor degree, you have mainly two audiences, okay? Ones that are the parents, that are the ones that are currently paying, okay? And then you have the students that maybe are the ones that are going to push their parents to do the bachelor degree in one institution or another, okay? So you have an overall budget for your bachelor's degree and you don't know which audience is going to work better, okay? Well, you have one campaign with your overall budget and then you have two assets, one for students and one for parents. So you can see which one works better and you don't have to split your budget since the beginning, okay? Because you don't know which one is going to work better, okay? Another possible situation, for example, I want to run my campaigns on Facebook and Instagram, okay? With the breakdown, I can see the results per platform, okay? But I cannot optimize the campaign differently. Like for example, have one bid strategy for Facebook and another for Instagram if I have all the placement in just one ad set, okay? So I know that Instagram has different CPMs and Facebook have lower CPMs, for example. So I want to have one campaign, but I want to have two ad sets because one is going to be focused on Facebook and the other one is going to be focused on Instagram. And this way I can have optimization of, for example, with the strategies differently, okay, separately, okay? So this is the kind of situation that you are going to see or you are going to use for have more than one asset or just one, okay? So the first thing to for creating a campaign is to select the buying type and the campaign objective, okay? The campaign type, okay? You have two options, action and reach and frequency. For your paid media campaign, you are going to use action. For the 99% of your campaigns, you are going to use action, okay? Reach and frequency, it's an option that it's like kind of weird, okay? With reach and frequency, for example, you can do things like have two different impacts. Like for example, I have one video and then I want to impact only the audience that has been seen the first video with a second video, okay? You can do that with reach and frequency, okay? The pain points of reach and frequency is like, for example, once you launch your campaign, you cannot do almost anything, okay? You have to leave it that way and see what happens, okay? But as I told you, reach and frequency, it's a really weird option, okay? So normally you are going to use action, okay? Then you need to select your objectives, okay? All objectives are divided by 3 main sections, and the sections are like a funnel, okay? You have awareness, you have consideration, and then you have conversion, okay? In awareness, you have brand awareness and you have reach. Brand awareness is to get people to recall your ad, okay? And reach is to get your ad impacted the most people possible, okay? That's the difference between these two, okay? Then we have consideration, okay? In consideration, we have traffic. Traffic can be to a website, it can be to an app, it can be to Messenger, it can be to WhatsApp. You have different options, okay? So if you select traffic, then you have to select where you want to drive this traffic, okay? Then we have engagement, okay? That is to gather interaction, okay, with the content. Then we have app stats, and then we have video views, okay? Be careful between video views and engagement, okay? If you have an ad that is using a video format, okay, and you select engagement, you cannot select which kind of engagement you want to gather, okay? So as long as video views is one type of engagement, almost every single engagement, it's going to be video views, okay? So imagine that you have a contest and you need to select your ad format. If your content is going to be a living messages or comments, it's better if you use a single image, for example, not a video, because if not, the campaign is going to be really, really difficult to optimize, okay? So this is the kind of things you have to keep in mind, okay? Then lead generation. This lead generation, it's talking about the native format, okay? The lead gen form that we see, for example, in the travel agency case study, okay? If you want people to fill a form in your website, it has to be conversion, okay? Why? Because that lead goal, okay, it's a conversion, okay? It's an event that you have previously set up in the events manager. So a conversion can be sales, can be lead form, can be contact information, can be initiate checkout, okay? Conversion is an action that someone is going to take on an app or on a website, okay? And you have to configure it previously to the company, okay? So that's why this lead generation, it's talking about the native form, okay? If you want people to fill your form in a website, that is an action, that is a conversion, okay? It would be this other goal. Then we have messengers, okay? This is pretty obvious, okay? It's to get messages on Messenger, okay? And then we have conversion that I already explained it, okay? It's to get people to do some action, okay? It can be in an app or can be in a website. Then we have catalog sales, okay? Remember when I was showing you the business manager, I told you, is where you set up your catalogs and you can use it organic and promote it, okay? So when you use catalog sales, you are trying to sell directly using this catalog that you previously set up on your e-commerce section, okay? And then we have store traffic, okay? Facebook has said that this one is going to disappear. I'm not pretty sure if,
Sorry, we can only choose one objective
yes,
there,
only one objective.
but like, we only have one campaign and we choose one objective. Because Kevin said something that we should have
Yeah.
like several objectives.
Maybe what Kevin was saying that is that, for example, you want traffic, you are going to choose traffic, but you are going to have more than one main KPI, like for example, traffic and impressions, okay? But when you are building a campaign, it's impossible to select more than one objective, okay?
Yeah, that's why
Right.
he said to have several campaigns. He told us that last class.
Okay,
And we said 5 to 6 campaigns and
Yeah,
always a different objective.
but maybe he was talking about in general, not for the big media campaign, okay?
No, we asked for this.
But I don't know, okay, maybe he just misunderstood, okay? You only can build one campaign and you only have 150 euros, okay? Imagine that you want to create like 5 campaigns with 150 euros per group. You don't have enough budget, okay? Because you have to run each campaign 4 days. So it would be impossible, okay? That's why you only can run one campaign per group, okay? I don't know, I wasn't there, so I
That's
don't
why
know.
we are a little confused with this whole assignment because we feel like we're getting different information and then not enough information. So
I don't know, I'm sorry, because,
Okay.
but the media instruction that I live in the virtual campus, it was saying that you can only build one campaign, okay? But we are going to see all the media assignment details at the end of the class, so don't worry, okay? But yeah, only one campaign, okay, per group. That's all, okay? So you select whatever one you want, like for example, traffic, okay? And then you have here the option to put here already the name of your campaign, but you can put it later, so whatever you want, okay? Then you go to continue. I'm going to put here test, okay? Imagine that you just make a mistake if you don't want traffic. You can still edit it, okay? Once you launch your campaign, you cannot edit it anymore. So you just can edit it right now, okay? Here's a really important part, okay? The campaign spec limit, okay? I really encourage you to use this. It's going to give you peace of mind, okay? Because you are going to know that you are not going to spend under any circumstances more amount than the one that you are going to put here, okay? There's a minimum of 100 euros, okay? As long as you have one campaign and 150 euros, you can set the limit campaign without any problem, okay? So I'm going to put here 150 euros, okay? Then you have this option, like the A/B test, okay? You are not going to use it for the big media assignment, but it's for making A/B test, okay? This is kind of obvious, okay? And then you have the campaign budget optimization, okay? This is a really important part also in the campaign, okay? So you have two options, to leave it off or to put it on, okay? If you leave the campaign budget off, then you are going to set up your budget in an ad set level, okay? So you have in the previous example, okay? If you have Facebook and Instagram, okay, you can put different budgets for Facebook and Instagram, but the overall budget of the campaign is going to be the same, okay? It's going to be both, okay? But the same example, let's say that we don't know which one is going to work better, okay? So I don't want to put 100 in Instagram and 50 in Facebook, because I'm not pretty sure if it's really going to work that way, okay? So if I put the campaign budget optimization on, I can put the budget in the campaign level, and then Facebook is going to choose which ad set works better, and it's going to put more money there, okay? So that's the main difference, okay, in between both options. So it depends on which option you choose, that you are going to have different next steps, okay? If you put your budget optimization option on, then you have to select your budget. You need to define if it's daily or lifetime budget, okay? For your paid media campaign, I hardly recommend using lifetime budget, okay? That it will be, 150, okay? And then you have to select your bid strategy, okay? Sorry. The bid strategy, it will change depending on your objective, okay? You will have different options here, but they are pretty much this one, okay? So you have lowest cost, okay? Lowest cost is when you don't have the control of the bid, okay? And you leave Facebook all the control, so he can choose the bid that he thinks that it's the best one to gather the most results possible as the lowest cost, okay? Then we have cost cap, okay? Remember the travel agency case study, okay? In that case study, our client give us a CPL, or objective CPL, okay? That it was 3 euros, okay? So in this kind of situation, I'm going to choose cost cap, okay? Because I know that I don't want my results to be expensive than X amount, okay? And then we have a bid cap, okay? Bid cap is to control the amount in the bid, okay? As I told you, we are working with auction, okay? So what does it mean? You are in an auction, okay? So you are competing with other brands. So you are going to put in the auction several things, okay? You are going to put your bid strategy, and also you are going to put your ads in your account, okay? And Facebook is going to evaluate these different criteria, okay? As I told you, one, it's the bid strategy. So if you have a bid of 2 euros and your competitor have a bid of 5 euros, the only way you can win that bid done auction is if you are outperforming the other two criteria, okay? So that's how the bid strategy works. So if you are using bid cap, you are telling Facebook in this auction, I'm not willing to bid higher than this amount, okay? So you have to be careful because if your bid is too high, your cost can be also high, okay? It doesn't mean that necessarily your result is going to be, your cost result is going to be higher, but it can be. So it's something that you have to be careful, okay? So for your PPD assignment, my recommendation, as long as the final result is not the criteria we are going to use to grade you, play with this, okay? Because this option, you can change it wherever you want, okay? So start with one bid strategy. Let's see what happened, and then you can change it and see what happened, okay? If you put your bid strategy at one amount, see if you are spending enough or not, and all this kind of stuff, okay? Because this is the main goal of the assignment, to you to get familiar with all the options that you have in the campaign manager. Yes.
But isn't it better to start without any bid cap? Because for us, we don't know what it's the market CPM or the buying rates here. So if we put something too low, we're going to underspend on the first day. So isn't it better to not put on the first day, and then once we have some results?
In a real situation, again, if you don't have any kind of historical data with a client or with a brand, it's a good strategy, okay? Start with lowest cost, see what happened, and then just you can change it and control the cost cap or the bid cap, okay? In this situation, you can do whatever you want because we are not looking for the results, okay? So if you want to start with lowest cost, it's a good strategy, okay? And see what happened, and then you can change it. But if you want to start since the beginning with, for example, bid cap and see what happened, it's okay too, okay? So that's what I was talking about. This is only about experimenting. So don't worry if you put a bid cap and then in your first day you don't gather any results. Okay, next day you can change it. Don't worry, okay?
So do you recommend that we change it like every day? I mean, it's only 4 days, right?
Yeah,
So-
no, I mean, every single day, maybe not, it's not a good idea, okay? But maybe you can select two options and say, okay, 2 days I'm going to use lowest cost, and then the last 2 days I'm going to use bid cap with the information that I gathered in the previous 2 days, for example. That would be a really good option, for example. Okay.
One other question. So did you say we divide the amount of money on, like, or we can divide it on 50% Instagram or 50% Facebook, or no?
My personal recommendation, I mean, you can do whatever you want, okay? You are
Okay,
free
it
to
is
do
possible.
whatever you want. It's possible. My personal recommendation, you have only 150 euros in just 4 days. If you divide the budget too much, you are not going to be able to gather any kind of results, okay? So if you want to do 2 ad sets, it's okay. More than 2 ad sets, it's too much. And I would read that the perfect amount of access for that time, for that amount of budget and that time, it's 1 access, okay? That's the perfect formula, okay? Because you just need to divide, I mean, thinking, 150 between 4, you have like 38 euros per day, okay? If you divide 38 euros per day into 2, you have like 15, a little bit more, okay? With 15 euros, it's kind of difficult to gather anything because the CPM, you are going to be charged by impressions, okay? The CPM in Facebook, for example, normal CPM can be between 150 cents and €1.50, sorry, and €2.20, for example. So just make math, okay? You don't have that much money to do anything, okay? With only 15 euros, okay? So that's why I told you, you can do whatever you want. If you want to put there 4 ad sets, it's okay, because this is not about the result. This is about experimenting, okay? But if you put there too much ad sets, you are not going to be able to gather too much results, okay? So maybe you can neither experiment too much because you don't have nothing to play with, okay? I don't know if, I hope you with this or not.
It's just a little confusing because we didn't really know if we had to like take pictures ourselves for the company or and then do we do it only on Facebook or only on Instagram or on both, and do we post every single day or do we only post once? There are just so many questions though.
Yeah, I mean, some of these questions are on the virtual campus, okay? Maybe they are not clear enough, okay? But you are free to do wherever you want, okay? You can
But
have
we
one
would like
app.
to do it good too, you know, like
What?
we would like to do it good and for the company.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we
yeah,
don't want
but-
to make anything stupid.
Yeah, sure, 100%, I agree, okay? But, I mean, you are free to do whatever you want, okay? I'm going to give you tips, okay? But then you have like an amount of freedom to do whatever you want, okay? So you can create content, you can existing content on the Facebook page already, okay? The perfect amount of ads, it's for example, between 3 and 5 ads per ad set, okay? And if you want to put 2, it's okay too, because you have just a little bit of money and just 4 days, so it's not really going to make a huge difference, okay? That's why I'm telling you, this is about experimenting, okay? The result is not that important, okay? But I'm going to give you tips right now, okay? While we are setting up the campaign. And also a really important thing, okay? And it's related to this. You are going to run a campaign for 4 days and you only have 150 euros, okay? So maybe it's not a good idea to have your campaigns running the whole day, the 4 days, okay? Because as I said, you have like 38 euros per day. That's a really small amount of money, okay? So you have the option to set up a schedule, okay? If you are using the campaign budget optimization, if you have your budget in the campaign level, and you want to put an ad schedule, you need to be sure that you have this checked up, okay? Because if not, you are not going to be able then to have a schedule, okay? So imagine we are going to have the campaigns running on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, okay? On Monday and Tuesday, people normally go to school, go to work, etc. So during the morning, they are not going to be on social media that much. So maybe it's a good idea if we have a schedule on Monday and Tuesday, running our campaigns from 6 p.m. to midnight, for example, and we ignore the morning. And on during the weekend, we can have a broader schedule, but we are going to start our ads running a little bit late, like at 12 p.m. or something like that, because people is getting up later and they are not going to go to social media the first thing in the morning, okay? So we can play with this kind of option, and so we spend our money in a more efficient way, okay? So as I said, if you want to use a schedule and you are using the budget optimization, you need to click this one, okay? Be sure that you have clicked this option. And we go next, okay? Sorry. This is the ad set level, okay? As I told you, this is going to change depending on your objective. We are using traffic, so we need to tell Facebook where we want to drive our traffic, to a WhatsApp, to an app, to Messenger, to WhatsApp, etc. Okay? You are going to use website if you are choosing where traffic as a goal on your paid media assignment. Okay? Also, I forget to tell you, my recommendation in terms of goal for your paid media assignment. Okay? Having in mind that we only have 150 euros in 4 days, and we don't have some technical part developed. Okay, we don't have pixel, we don't have events, etc. I will highly recommend you to focus on awareness, traffic, and engagement. Okay, I think these are the 3 best options for you. Okay, if you want lead form because you want to test it, it's also okay. Okay, but it's going to be harder for you because you have to develop the form, etc. Okay. So the 3 best options for me are awareness. It doesn't matter if it's at recall or it's reach, okay? And interactions and traffic, okay? These are the 3 best options. because also the cost result is going to be not that high, so you have enough budget to gather enough results, okay, and play with the campaign. So as I said, if you are using traffic, you need to select which where you want to drive this traffic, okay? Then you have dynamic creative, okay? I think this is an advanced option, and you are not going to use it for your paid media assignment, okay? But I'm going to explain to you. Each ad account has a limit of ads that you have that you can have running at the same time, okay? This ad limit is 250 ads, okay? So with dynamic creative, you can have less ads active, but have a multiple combinations, okay? So when you are using dynamic creative, you are uploading a lot of different images or videos, okay? Then you are going also to upload a different copies. I think the maximum is 5, okay? Different call to actions, different headlines, and Facebook is the one that is going to mix everything up, okay? It's going to do all the possible combinations with the asset that you are giving them, okay? So this way you are going to have only one ad, but in fact you are having like 50, for example, okay? If you want to do it in the traditional way, you need to create each ad, okay? That's how dynamic creative works. As I said, for your paid media assignment, I think this is not that important, okay? Because you are not going to have like 10 photos and 5 copies, okay? This is when you are going bigger, okay? Then you have offer, okay? Offer, it's when you have an offer like 50% or whatever, and you want to include it in your ads, okay? Then you have your start date and your end date, okay? This is pretty obvious. And then you have the ad schedule. As I told you, you can here select for each day the schedule that you want your ads to use, okay? So for example, Saturday and Sunday, you can see that you want to go 12 to 12, okay? Sorry. And on Monday and Tuesday, you can go only for 7 to 12, okay? So now you know for sure that outside these hours, your ad is not going to show up and you are not going to spend money, okay? Then you have audience, okay? If you have custom audience, the one that I previously explained to you, you are going to select it here, okay? You can use it as an audience or you can exclude it, okay, as I told you. Then you have location, okay? Or again, for your paid media assignment, maybe it's not that good idea to go too big, okay? You can use countries, you can use cities, but also you can use a specific location. So for example, imagine that you are a restaurant, okay? Not that big restaurant. So maybe you want to put here the specific location of your restaurant, and then you can select the radio around your restaurant that you want your ads to show up, okay? Because people coming from 20 kilometers, they are not going to go to your restaurant, okay? For example. Also, one team has a hotel, okay, 2 rooms. So my my tip here is to be careful with this option, okay? In location. Here you can select if you impact people living in that location, people interested in that location, or people that had recently been there, okay? So you can play with this option because it can be a huge difference, okay? Also, location, you can use it to include it or to exclude it, okay? So you have an hotel, and I'm going to offer rooms in Madrid. I want to exclude people living in Madrid, okay? Because normally people living in Madrid is not going to book an hotel in Madrid, okay? So you can play with this kind of option that can work pretty good, okay? Age, you just need to select whatever age you want, okay? Gender, you can select all men or women. And then here it's the most tricky part, okay? Here you have demographics, interests, jobs titles, etc. Okay, so if you are pretty sure what you want to do, okay, you can type here wherever, like for example, Madrid, okay? And Facebook is going to give you all the options that you have with that keyword, okay? Once you add some options, Facebook is also going to give you some suggestions, okay? So I highly recommend you to check out these suggestions, because sometimes are pretty helpful, okay? Yeah.
Can we just go back to the scheduling? I'm sorry that it's a little late, but I just saw that another group has their campaign already scheduled, and it says attribution settings or something 7 days. Does this come automatically or?
That's another totally thing, okay?
Okay.
This is, for example, the attribution, okay? And the date range of the attribution is, imagine that you impact a person, okay, a user. Then it, like 2 days later, they go to the website, not through your ad, they just go to the website and do whatever, okay? If you have an attribution set of 7 days, as long as this user has been impacted by your ad, it's going to count as a result, okay? This is the attribution, but this is like way too advanced, okay?
Yeah, I was just confused because of the 7 days and 4 days campaign, so that's why I was asking.
Are completely different things, okay? So, I mean, I can explain you more about the attribution thing, but it's like way too advanced for you right now, so just ignore that part, okay? And then we have the option to browse, okay? For example, for demographic, it's pretty helpful, okay? But for interest, it's kind of confused because you are going to have too many options, okay? So for interest, it's better if you just type here whatever, and it's going to show you all the options, okay? Be careful because you have more than interest, okay? You have interest, but also, for example, you have job titles, okay? Or employment. So be careful what are you selecting because are completely different things, okay? It's not the same if you say Facebook that you want people that are interested on marketing, that people that are currently working on marketing, okay? So are different things, just be careful with that, okay? Then we have languages, okay? You can select whatever language you want. And in the advanced options, you can select, for example, people that are currently in your funds, okay? Or exclude people that are currently your fund, okay? Then you have the placement, okay?
Excuse me, I think she has a question.
Oh,
Sorry, in the interest part, if the company is very small, would you recommend not to put as many interests to make it a broader search? Or do you recommend us to put a lot of tags?
I mean, the number of interests is not 100% directly with the potential reach, okay? This is how you are going to see if your audience is too broad or it's too narrow, okay? There are some interests that are not that popular, so maybe you just put one and your audience is going to be really narrow, okay? Also think that this potential audience is going to be a combination of your interests, but also the other criteria like the location, dates, the gender, etc. Okay, so think that you have here a potential reach. You are not going to reach all these people. Okay, you are only going to reach like normally around 10-20% at maximum. Okay, so with this in mind and with your budget, you know if you have an audience that is too big or it's an audience that it's okay. Okay. I mean, the number of interests is that don't have a direct correlation with the dimension of the business. Okay. I don't know if I answered.
No, yeah.
Okay. And then we have placement. Okay. By default, you are going to have automated placement. Okay. I highly recommend you not to leave this way. Okay, because your ad is going to show up in so many places that you cannot control, okay? And it can be really annoying, okay? So it's better you use manual place. The best placement that I recommend you are feeds, okay? Marketplace, okay? And explore. Stories only for Instagram. On Facebook doesn't work that well, okay? Search and in articles, okay? The other placement are not that good, okay? Especially apps and sites, okay? This is the part of the audience network, okay? And this is where I was talking about, like you cannot control 100%, you have some advanced options, so you can filter some websites you don't want your ads to be on, okay? But you are not going to be 100% where your ad is showing up, okay? And it can be it can be bad, okay? Because you are not 100% if you are a rewarding video or if you are in a website that is against your brand values, for example, okay? And then we have the optimization delivery, okay? On the presentation that I shared with you previously this week, you have all the options for each goal, okay? The option that is selected by Facebook by default, normally it's a really good option, okay? But for example, on traffic, you have all these options, okay? If your goal is traffic, the best one is going to be link clicks or landing page view, okay? Link clicks is going to gather more clicks, but it's going to be cheaper, okay? But the downside, okay, or the con is that maybe a lot of people, it's going to go to your website, but a lot of these people, it's not going to do anything at all, okay? And with landing page view, your link clicks can be a little bit expensive, but the people that is clicking, it's more likely to do something on your website. So depending on your goal, if you want volume or if you want quality, that you choose one or another, okay? This part will depend on the option in the bid strategy that you have selected, okay? If you have lowest cost, this is automated, so you don't have to do anything at all. If you use bid control or bid cap, you need to put here the amount that you want for your bid cap or your bid control, okay? And then we have the ads, okay? As I told you, you only have access to one Facebook page, okay? So you are not going to have all these options, but okay? But if you have access to more than one Facebook page, here you will have to select which one you want to run your campaign on, okay? If you are working with influencers, for example, you need to go with branded content and also include the account of the influencer, okay? But for your big media assignment, you are not going to use it. And then you have two options related to the content, okay? You can use an existing post or you create a new ad, okay? If you are using an existing post, you just need to go to select post and choose Facebook or Instagram and select whatever you want, okay? If you want to create your ad, you need to go here, create ad, and then select the format if you want single video or image, carousel, or whatever, okay? And then just fill all the different options, okay? Like here you have to put the photo, here you have to put your copy, here you have to put a headline, and then you have to put your URL, okay? So here you have to put your URL, okay? So one tip here, okay, about the description, okay? My personal tip here is to always put a blank space, okay? Why? If you don't put a blank space, you are going to have a lot of text there, even if you leave it without anything, okay? Because Facebook is going to put the text that he is, or the information that he is gathering using the API, okay? And in a mobile phone, it's going to be really messy. So that's why my personal recommendation is always to put a blank space, okay? So once you have all this, you just have to publish the campaign, and that's all.